Hey, I'm JJ. This channel's about helping intermediate drummers become advanced. You've read the title, so let's just get into it. In this video, I'll give you steps so that you can get as close as possible to your perfect practice routine. First, you have to get a few basics right, such as practicing for at least 45 minutes a day and practicing at least 5 days a week. The first way you can personalize it a bit is deciding on whether you do 5 or 6 days a week practice. You shouldn't really do 7, as most people always have some kind of unforeseen life situation every week. No matter if you choose 5 or 6 days a week, you should let the extra practice days that you weren't expecting to be able to do, you should just let them be playing time where you just play along to your favourite songs. The next thing you should decide on is your ratio between practice time and playing time, which I made a whole video on about. Playing time is basically where you play anything you want, or it could be constricted to a specific genre, or to a play-along track, whereas practice time is much more structured and you know exactly what you're playing and at what speed you're playing at. The ratio between practice time and playing time changes as you get more advanced. As an early beginner, I recommend you do a lot of playing time, but then as you get closer to intermediate, I recommend bumping up your practice time a bit. And then when you get more advanced, you can do whatever you want really. You've got the basic frame of your practice routine. Now you need to know what to fill it in with. The first thing is that you need to make a list of 5 to 10 drummers that you like but are from a wide variety of genres. For each of the drummers, write down parts of their playing that you really like. For example, Benny Greb, you could write about his timing, and Sonny Payne, you could write about his excitement in his drum solos. These can be quite broad, such as Benny Greb's timing, or they can be quite specific, such as Matt Goskar's ghost notes, or Benny Greb's foot ostinatos. The more traits and skills you identify from the best drummers, the better your practice schedule can be. Then you're going to want to filter this list by whether they fit your style, so that you actually have a concise schedule. This mainly applies to the smaller things that those drummers play. For example, Matt Goskar's really good at blast beats, and you could admire his abilities on them, but you don't actually have to practice them yourself. You should do this exercise every few months, in case your style and preference has actually changed. Now that you've filtered these skills, you can now group them into broader categories. For example, if 2 drummers are both really good at foot ostinatos, you can just put that in one practice slot as just foot ostinatos. Or if there are 2 drummers who are really good at timing, you can just put a slot in your practice time called timing. So that's a list of the skills you're going to work on in your practice time. For your playing time, you can just make a list of genres and styles you want to work on for now. When you're slotting it in, make sure that each item from those lists occurs at least 2 to 4 times a week, just so that they stay fresh in your mind. When you work on each item in your practice routine, make sure you work on them for about 15 to 60 minutes, and think about which ones you're going to work on more or less at. For example, sight reading you'd want to work on for at least half an hour, whereas hand speed you only really need about 5 minutes. If you want to learn how to optimize your practice time and your playing time, I'm going to make separate videos on that. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful for making your next practice routine, I'd appreciate it if you subscribed. Thanks for watching. Click on this video to learn how to never stop making progress on drums, and goodbye.